Oh, hello YouTube, how you doing, Earthlings? Welcome to, oh bloody hell, part 11 of my attempt at doing a Queen Elizabeth sculpture. And, it looks okay from the side. A bit scary from the front though. Anyway, let me show you. That's okay. Not so bad from that side. Not so bad from that side. And she looks even better from that side. I'll have to attach her to this base very soon, aren't I? Yeah. As you can see, I've let her dry. And then yesterday I filled out her bottom lip a bit more and the top lip and her fulcrum. What's that called again? What's the bit under the nose called? Bit under the nose called. It's Learning with Richard. What is the philtrum? I nearly got it right. The philtrum, the groove under the nose. I've kind of done a bit of sculpting to the teeth on this side, and I got round to about here. Then I lost interest. Well, I didn't lose interest. I just didn't do anymore. She's got a bit of hair coming out of there. Yeah, so what did I do? Yeah, also I filled out the bit above her eyelids a little bit. Bearing in mind she still needs actual eyelids. This is just the bit that is above her eyes. Philtrum, I like that word. Anatomy of a nose, rhinoplasty. Come on. No. Nasal cavity isn't what I want. What's that bit that in the middle of in between your two nostrils? Oh, shut up! Jeez, phone's charged anyway. All those electromagnetic field beams, nasal cavity. Yeah, I don't. That isn't the anatomy of a nose, is it? Nasal polyps. I think I have nasal polyps. Constant. I think I've had nasal polyps all my life. Medial cleft. That sounds really good as well. Her medial cleft. I much prefer philtrum. Right, so what I'm going to do to you now, Queenie. Bearing in mind that this is supposed to be a very young Queen Elizabeth, and the pictures that I have, they just all look so different. You know, from when she's in her early 20s to when she became Queen when she was 27 to sort of 30s, mid 30s, and she started having children. She sometimes looks like she's got a very chubby face. Sometimes she looks like she's quite a very slim face. That doesn't even look like the Queen. That's what I think of that picture, and it may well not be, but it probably is. I don't. Yeah. Sometimes her bottom lip sort of really comes down on this side, and you can see the top of her lower set of teeth. Her eyeballs are just a right pain. I have tried to sort of equalise them, because I have to have it sitting in different places of my flat, so you get different shadows and whatever, so you can look at, sort of be ultra critical of your own work, because, well, I don't think it looks very good at the moment. thinking maybe she needs a little bit more of a smile indentation, and maybe even a wider smile. Her lips need a lot more work. Yeah, that really does not look like the Queen at all. I should get rid of that picture because it's doing me head in. Go away, imposter. I think I need a little bit more underneath her chin. I think I need to fill out her chin a little. Do that. Let me do that. Instead of just jabbering on about what I should be doing, just do it. Just like the advert for that famous sports brand says. So yeah, so this is the Scola air dried clay. It hasn't cracked because I didn't have an aluminium or wire substructure underneath. It's just a hollow lump of clay. Yeah, I think that's me too much. No. Let's go with that for the time being. Yeah, so the Scola clay didn't crack. It's nylon reinforced. It's nice and strong. But this Daz clay, I can just put it onto the surface of this dry clay, and it will not crack. It will not become detached. But it gives you a nice, good bond onto the Scola clay as well. Scola nylon reinforced air dried stone coloured clay that you can buy bags of here in the UK, 12 kilogram bags for somewhere in between 10 quid and 20 quid. I can't remember because it's been such a long time since I bought some. I bought 2 lots last time because I bought one and then discovered in the recommendations below the one I just bought that there was some a lot cheaper, so I bought the lot cheaper one to make myself feel a little bit better about not having been ripped off so much. So I've just started my 5th or 6th 12 kilo bag. It's amazing really, so it doesn't look like I've got what's 6 times 12. Five times 48, 60. It doesn't look like I've got 60 kilos of clay. No. And then all the kilos of the Daz clay as well. Why don't you use polymer oven baked clay, Richard? Why don't you use polymer oven baked clay, I hear you ask? Well, because it's too expensive. I've got some. When I had some money, I bought 3 boxes of it. My oven didn't work. Well, 2 of my halogen ovens broke, so I've just got another one of them. So I still am going to use it because it's a much cleaner way of sculpting. You know, exactly what you sculpt is exactly what you get. I've got to go. I've just realised I've left my front door wide open, and my door to the stairwell open to let heat into the flat, and I've forgotten to check whether Daisy's about still. And I think that she's such a good girl because a while back that happened, and she went for a wander up the stairs and she got scared and lost, and I had to go and retrieve her from about 3 flights down. But no, she's a very good girl because she's on my bed. Now I do have some softer clay down here because I think her chin is all completely different shapes and sizes. Yeah, I don't like doing human heads, especially one where everyone knows what she looks like. I don't want to look like Princess Margaret. I can't remember. One of the comments on my Instagram picture that I put up on my work in progress was, I think it was Aaron from the brilliant Terrain by Aaron YouTube channel and Instagram pages. He's doing very well, I'm glad to see. But yeah, I don't want her to look like Princess Margaret. I want her to look like Queenie. That's what she looks like underneath. Actually just get a bit of wetness on the end of my finger and squidge a little bit onto there. Yeah, I'm not going to stick her down onto her base yet because I wouldn't be able to do this then, would I? If you could, I could just go. I mean, my mate's just bought a 3D printer, and he's printed me out some little bits and pieces. I've got to say, as soon as he got it and started printing stuff, I completely changed my mind about it being just a cheat mechanism, because you have to have a lot of skill to do the computer modelling, 3D modelling, and then there's a lot of skill in painting as well, and finishing it off and painting it, you know, getting rid of all the lines on it and painting it, depending on which 3D printer method you're using. You know, some come out with a dip, don't they? They don't need all the cleaning up so much, but the ones that print around and go if you sometimes you get a lot of lines over the surface. But yeah, there's a lot of skill in that. And but the only one that I think is a bit of a cheat is when you use a 3D scanner. So I can 3D scan the Queen's head, and just press a button and you get a copy come out of your 3D printer of exactly what you want. That isn't very skillful, that's just for you pressing buttons. And I found out the other day that they were doing, you know, you've got all of these companies now that get you to scan your body and your face and whatever, and they can just press a button and you get a perfectly printed version of you. They were doing that back in the late 30s, early 40s, by using just photographs and a yellow and white line that went over, and I don't know how it worked, but you can look it up. They were doing the 3D printing perfect likenesses of people from photograph, you know, photograph accurate versions in 3D right back then, and then the technology just got lost, and now, you know, within the last, I don't know, 10-15 years, it's sort of resurgence in 3D printing. They obviously didn't have computers back then, so I'm not quite sure how they've done it, but I'm going to have to look it up because my mate showed me. I can't remember. So perhaps I'll look it up and I'll tell you in the next video. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for the time being because I'm not enjoying this. And 15 minutes already. Please like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. Leave a comment. I'll reply to them all at the moment. When I get really famous and a few million subscribers, I probably won't be able to do that, so make the most of it while you can. Yeah. Share as well. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and goodbye, and thank you very much for taking your time to watch my video. You can't get that time back again, I really appreciate it. Goodbye.